So, I'm Charlene Sauce of Sauce is Best. It's CEO and it's self-taught chef. And if you're wondering what that blue is on my hand, I suffered a cooking injury. So I'm all bandaged up and have to heal for a few days. But that's what happens often in kitchens. Not to worry though, I'm fine, all is well. But on to our 4 signature sandwiches. Now, speaking of signature dishes or specialty items, you can find the specialty items and any special events in my travel plans at saucesbestcatering.com on the specialty items and events page. So I already had 2 specialty sandwiches. They are the Sauce's Best Breakfast Burger and the Sauce's Best Giant Biscuit Burger. The 2 new additions that we're working on that were created yesterday, filmed yesterday, photographed yesterday, are the Sauce's Best BBQ and Slaw sub and the Sauce's Best Linguine Meatball and Shrimp and Vodka Sauce Submarine. All of these sandwiches are huge. I believe in large portions. I know everybody doesn't always want large portions. So if I'm ever doing personal chef creations for you, just let me know, because yes, I love creating beautiful but large stuff similar to me. So, but get ready for those items to be added, and you'll be able to see them on the site along with their description and pricing either this evening or tomorrow. Today's date is January the 11th of 2021. And so depending on when you're watching this video, it's already posted on the site for your enjoyment. Thanks for your support, and I can't wait for you to taste several of my good, authentic, made with love, I call it made with a taste of Maryland love dishes. Enjoy. Good morning, guys. How is everyone? So today is the day that we are creating the 2 last Sauce's Best signature sandwiches. We already have the Sauce's Best Big Breakfast Burger. We already have the Sauce's Best Giant Biscuit Burger. And today we're going to be making, pardon my animals, what would be my version of that rib sandwich that McDonald's serves to you guys that we know is some type of mystery meat. And we're also going to make a loaded pasta meatball submarine boat. So, I just came back from the store. I don't know why bread was so hard to find today. So I don't have as big of a colossal fat roll as I would have preferred for these subs. But we're still going to make it work and make greatness. See y'all in a bit. Okay, so pardon how I'm looking today. And pardon that big unsightly box in the back. I ordered some cleaning supplies and Amazon sent one simple little thing in a box big enough to put somebody in if we wanted to. Anyway, so last night for dinner, if you guys remember, I put up some pics of what I made for dinner last night. It was a pork chop and grits, right? And so by today, the grits are actually how I wanted them last night. So this morning, they're going to be a brunch type thing because it's going to take me a while to get my 2 sandwiches done, and I can't have my family starve. So I'm going to bake this pan of grits, and then I'm going to cut it using my shaped dessert cutters that I bought for plating. Cut these into squares, and I'm going to layer them. So it's going to be a layer of the grits, then a soft fried egg, then another layer of grits in a pretty square, as long as this bakes the way I think it will, topped with a poached egg. And it's also going to have tomato on it. And we're going to juggle it with some hollandaise and also some balsamic. So we're going to see how this goes. Hopefully it turns out great. And that'll be brunch so people don't have to starve while I'm cooking everything else. Believe it or not, I'm working on fumes. My insomnia really was bad last night, and I was up till 6 a.m. and then got up early this morning to start my brisket because the store did not have any of the regular ribs that you get that are on a rack. yesterday. So what I'm going to do is use the brisket because you want normally a boneless rib, right? For the sandwich that McDonald's makes that's supposed to be rib that is some type of mystery meat. But what we're going to do today is I'm going to be making, so I make my sauces, but I do incorporate some store-bought sauces that I then cook other fresh ingredients to. But you'll see. I'll be explaining those as we go. I've actually made my barbecue sauce before in a video. If you go back to the video where I talk about, I believe it was when I made the spaghetti and meat sauce and the jerk barbecue chicken. That's when you saw me make peppers. I mean, not peppers, make the sauce. And I will put a direct link to that blog entry within this blog entry so that you guys can go back and refer to that and see what you need to make my barbecue sauce. But I'll see you guys in a bit because right now while this is going, I'm going to wash my hands again because my nose. And I'm going to get started on two things. I'm going to get started on the slaw that I'm making today. And I'm also going to get started on making my meatballs. And I'm going to get started on the vodka sauce for the Italian sub. So I will see you guys in a bit. And I'll just film short clips from here on out of how those are going as I do them. Because I'm trying to keep this video a little shorter. Because the star of the video really is the sandwiches. So, all right. Talk to you later. And I just want to show you this real quick. Remember the grits I made yesterday? Remember I told you I was going to bake them? The leftovers? Well, they're baked. And once this cools down and has set, because I want to make sure it's pretty firm. Make sure your hands are clean and you can touch it. I'm going to use my dessert cutters, the square shape format, to make squares out of this when I'm ready to plate my eggs and my bacon. It smells so good. This is going to be awesome. Okay, so real quick here before I get on to cooking my sandwiches for today. Although this is still a sandwich, I guess the theme today is sandwiches. And I guess the weekend theme is sandwiches and grits because the grits are a part of this as well. So the first thing we're going to do, I already grilled some of the bread. And this is marble rye sandwich bread. It's a pretty tasty bread. Hold on, let me get some organization here. As I've explained in several episodes, kitchen has very little space, so I've had to extend out and I'm drawing my kitchen into, don't want to spill that, into what I guess would have been a dining room if we wanted to use it for that, but we don't really need it, so, you know, it is what it is. Okay, so this square is a little big, so what you can do in this case so that you have enough coverage for your grits is put two slices together like that. Alright, so the next thing we're going to need, make sure your hands are clean of course, is some of the grits. And I'm going to try to do this without making a complete mess everywhere. You want to pack them in because you want to try to hold your shape. The bread may try to move apart, so just try your best to get this to stay put as much as you can. Get a little more because I want this to be really, really, really pretty. Scoot it a little more because that is not right in the middle, and I want the symmetry to be good. Pat it down because you want the shape to hold. If you can see what I'm doing, I'm just using a dessert ring that you would use to shape a dessert. They're really good plating tools, y'all. Seriously. All right. I use them when I plate rice too to make it pretty, or sometimes I just use my cup measure. It's round. There's all kinds of stuff you can use. You can use your burger press if you have one. All right. So now you want to gently just wiggle your ring up. Look at there. Can you see that? Perfect square, right? So the next thing we're going to do, I forgot one of our components. Let me go get it. So the next thing you want to grab after that is your nice runny breakfast eggs. And I like to put 2, just so that it's just really, really pretty. So there's that part of the dish. Put this on my other table over here. You guys can't see it, but there's a whole nother table back there that y'all used to seeing me work on, like a brown wooden table. Then what we're going to do is another piece of bread. Turn this way. And this time, let's see how I want this shaped. I guess we'll still go square, even though it's going to be kind of big. But, you know, we're going for effect. So let's see if we can get it to stay. We might be able to, we might not be able to. If it does, great. If not, we had fun trying. And yeah, that's not going to hold like that. So in a situation like this, what you can do is just place a little of the grits on here in a neat little pretty pile. Because you've already got that really pretty square version down there. Try to clean your plate up as you go. Alright. And what I like to do is just place some bacon around so it almost looks like ribbons surrounding your sandwich. See how pretty that is? Now, we're getting to the good part here. And you can even add another little piece of tomato there to make the plate really pretty if you want, or 2 for your guest, if you like that. Just so you can still see the squareness of it. And now we're going to use our little itty bitty bitty spatula. And it is time to successfully, we hope, add our poached egg. My thing is acting funky this morning, so we're going to use a spoon. I'm not sure. That thing usually works like magic. Okay. Oop. That was not the desired effect. Set it right on top like that. And I actually made a good amount of the egg, so here's what we're going to do with the rest. I'm going to put a second one right there. Now, here comes the really, really, really beautiful fun part. What are we doing next? One second. My holidays, because it's sat so long, got just a little thick there. All right. Now, in my hollandaise, I added just a little sugar, a little garlic, and also some balsamic vinegar. And you're just going to hold it right above the top there and just let it drizzle down. You want it just to drizzle down. Make sure you get some on that other egg. Get some on everything if you want, just to make it pretty. The last thing you're going to do, once you've created that lovely masterpiece there, is the following, if I can find it. It's always fun in this kitchen. I never know where half my stuff is. Gotta love it. So, oh, there it is. I was going to say, well, I have another one I can open. And then, just to make this really, really pretty, garnish with some parsley. And there you have, oh, almost forgot. Add your pearl onions also, just for beauty. They don't really serve any other purpose. But never garnish with things people can't eat. You might make them sick. And voila, there you have it. I'm going to stop this and come right. And there we have it. You've got a grit tower underneath there, forming you the dessert ring. You got ribbons of bacon around the outside. You got two fried eggs, two poached eggs, and this is on marble rye bread, 2 pieces of it. Look how beautiful that is. That is gorgeous, isn't it? All right, so that's our first sandwich of the day. Time to get on to the 2 big signature sandwiches. Hey guys, so I'm about to move on to making the meatballs. Now, to save time, pardon my hair too, I'm looking crazy today. My hair will look good tomorrow, figures, right? I gotta record my commercial for coming to Maryland tomorrow, so tomorrow I'll be all done up. But today, I'm just trying to get this done. So basically, what's going to happen here is, if you go back to the Christmas cooking video, you will see how I made meatballs. I will also happily link you to that video. But today, I'm just going to show you them once they're rolled, and just going to show you them once the sandwich they go on is finished. Because I really wanted to save some time today, and filming slows you down a little bit when you're cooking, when you're filming yourself. So, I don't want to do videos that are repetitive. Only thing is, these won't be the mini meatballs like you saw in that video. These are going to be full-size meatballs. But I'll be sure to link you back to that so that you guys know where to find that. Just like I'll link you back to the video where I made the barbecue sauce earlier this year so that you understand that. All right. All right, here's the meatballs. I told you I'd show you them before I put them in the oven to bake. So there they are. You can see they're a pretty good size. So that's those. So in the pot, you'll see in photos, because I'm not videoing it. Well, let me see if I can show you just a little bit. We've got the tomato sauce going, right? It's bubbling in the middle. That's why it's redder there. So in there are, I cooked about 10 tomatoes myself. Emulsified them or mashed them down to nothing. Added a can of Italian tomatoes. A can of this other made from Italian tomatoes product that I bought. Italian sun-dried tomatoes and some sauce. And what I'm going to do though, because this is a vodka sauce, this is not going to be a regular red marinara. I got just a cheap vodka, nothing expensive, because it's being used for cooking. We're not drinking. If you got extra, you can. So some people like to measure it. I usually don't though, because I just know how I like mine. So for me, right now, we've only poured it down to about here. So we give it one more good douse. So probably about a half. I have a lot of sauce. Do not put that much in a little bit of sauce, okay? And you're going to need to cook this down for a while to get the alcohol taste out of it. Your sauce should not taste like alcohol. We're not trying to make the family members drunk, all right? Then we're going to use heavy whipping cream, because vodka sauce is a little creamier also than regular sauce. About 2.5 cups of that. And then you're going to get your handy dandy whisker tool out. And you just want to mix this up really good. Then you're going to put the lid back on it, and you're just going to let it simmer. But I'll show you in a second the color, because this is how you know when you're dealing with a vodka sauce. Right now, like I said, you can smell the vodka right now, but we do not want to leave it like that. That's definitely not what you want when you're about to finally serve this. Okay? Got a tomato hunk stuck in my thing there. But let me show you what it looks like now. Now you got the color of a vodka sauce. Voila. Be back in probably a couple of hours, because I'm going to let this simmer for a while. I really want to cook the alcohol out of it. Alright? Be back soon. Alright, so I'm back over here now, right? We're just in the kitchen. Technology, ain't it great? So right now what we're about to do, first thing we're about to do, however, is go and rinse off our 2 cabbages. I'm using green and red for my slaw. Be right back. All right, we returned with some wet cabbage wet hands. All right, so at this point, it is going in the food processor, but to make it easier for your food processor to do it, you do want to start chopping it up. Food processor is just going to finish our shred for us. Sorry. Please be careful when you're using like actual chef's axes, knives and stuff, because these blades are extremely sharp. In my opinion, people who aren't really that great in the kitchen should just start with basic knives, you know, like the ones you get at Walmart stuff, because this stuff can hurt you if you don't know what you're doing. So then you want to, I'm just going to chop it some more, because again, I want this as easy as possible for my food processor to deal with. And in the food processor, once it goes in, now I'm going to spin this around. Oh, always be wiping off your cutting board too. I wipe my cutting board off in between everything, because otherwise you will cross-contaminate and risk making someone sick. If you remember, the meatballs were on here earlier, so of course we had to clean that off. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing with the purple cabbage. And we're also going to add shredded carrots, apple cider vinegar, just a little bit of sugar, a little bit of salt to this for our coleslaw. And of course, Miracle Whip. I hate mayonnaise. You will never find mayonnaise in anything of mine. Can't stand it. So I always mix Miracle Whip with the apple cider vinegar and a little bit of sugar and salt, as I already mentioned. And that's how we're going to have this lovely coleslaw. My other cabbage, the rest of my cabbage will be bagged up and stored, because I'm sure we're not going to use this all today. If my family decides they want slaw later on this week, well, I can chop up some more, put more in the food processor. But for today, this is what we're putting in to get the coleslaw started. And like I said, I'm going to use already shredded carrots because it makes life easier. So I'll be back in a bit to show you what this looked like once it's all chopped up. All right, so I'm back and I'm going to mix everything together. We did everything we could there in the food processor. 1 second, I think I'm going to need a spoon too and not just my tongs. Mix this salad. All right, I am back. So first I'm going to start with a spoon. The only thing I have not put in here already that I spoke to you about earlier is the apple cider. It is going in now. All right. I'd say that's probably about half a cup. I like my stuff really creamy, but really tangy too. So we're just going to continue mixing all this up. Remember, I use red and standard good old green cabbage. I decided to just use 1 bag of shredded carrots instead of 2, because I think this is going to be plenty. So make sure you get that all good mixed in. And then, if you remember this morning, I put my brisket on to slow cook in my slow roaster, and I use liquid smoke so it'll still have that smoky flavor to it. But I just want to show you this. If you feel like you want more Miracle Whip or something in yours, of course you can put more. I always want to taste it. We got, see if we need anything else. That's really good. And I put just a few sprinkles of lemon pepper in mine too. I love the taste it gives it. So there is our super delicious, super simple, super tasty coleslaw. And that's going to go on the rib sandwich. This shit's going to be so good. Be back. So, some people keep their meatballs to the side, but I like to cook mine in the sauce. So they were cooked in the oven first. They did not go into the sauce raw. And now the vodka sauce is just still coming together with the meatballs in it. And now the next thing I'm about to do is add shrimp to this. This is going to be the most delicious giant sub sandwich you've ever seen. The other step to it is the linguine pasta. So this is going to be absolutely amazing. I'll see you guys back in a bit. Hey guys. So this is going to be a little different than my last sauce because instead of beer in it, we're going to do just a little vodka in it. Not much. Just a little. Couple splashes. That should be enough. There was also already a little oil in there. I'm going to put just a little minced garlic. Not much. Well, at least not what I consider much. And then I'm going to start building the more important components of it. So like I told you, I mix a lot of store-bought things to get this going, and then we're going to whisk it all together. All right? So first I'm going to put in some A1. This is going to be so much better than that version that burger restaurant sells y'all of their fake rib sandwich that we don't know what is in it. And a little, just a very little garlic powder, because we already used the fresh garlic, so we don't need a lot of that. All right. Next up, some tequila lime rub, which is also what I used when I rubbed down the brisket. So this is going to go really good. Now, if you're wondering how I'm making a rib sandwich using brisket and why I didn't use ribs, they didn't have any rib on the bone. They just had singular ribs, and I want a slab of meat on this sandwich so that it gives you the same feel, just in a gigantic proportion of your beloved Mickey D's version of it. Okay? Very important part of making a good barbecue sauce is your ketchup. Gotta have that. And then a good barbecue sauce also always has ketchup's partner in crime, mustard. I get a spicy mustard for everything. I hate plain mustard. It's the most ordinary thing in the world. Just open that. You do not need as much mustard though as you use ketchup. The mustard is just an accent. It is not the main flavor. Don't want to overpower people with mustard. The next element, a little granulated cayenne pepper to give it just a little bit of heat, not too much. A little bit of real molasses. I mixed the water with this so it was easier to pour. Just got to give a little molasses in there to get that really kind of sweetness that's going to happen now once we add brown sugar. Brown sugar, also a very important component of a good barbecue sauce. All right? So, get as much in as you want because you want it to create a stickiness, like a glaze. All right? Okay. Last but not least, also the main star of the show, some apple cider vinegar. I'm sorry, cleaning up here. Don't want sugar everywhere. End up with an ant trail, and nobody wants that, right? About 3 small caps of apple cider vinegar. Not too much. And now you're just going to begin whisking all this together. Look at that. Doesn't that look familiar to you? Looks like the colored barbecue sauce, right? One important thing. One more thing. Whoop. One more important thing here. Just a splash of Worcestershire. Not more than that. Okay? Just a splash, literally. Keep whisking at this point. Yum. Look at how good. How nice. So when this meat comes out, depending on how I decide to serve it on the sandwich, the easiest way to cut it, I'll be pouring some of this on there, or I'll be dipping the meat straight in here to get it coated on each side. That's generally what I would want to do, but we're going to see how this goes. And like I said, these 2 sandwiches will be added permanently to Sauce's Best Specialty Sandwich menu. Right now, this will make 4 sandwiches. that'll be added there. And voila, you have a yummy, rich, delicious barbecue sauce ready to go. Hey everyone, so we're about to get to the meat and potatoes of this thing. So today the only sub rolls that the store had were wheat. Normally I would have got Italian. Normally I would have got sub rolls, but not just French. And oh yeah, injured myself earlier and I've got it super wrapped so that nothing happens here wrong with anybody's food. But these are gonna be stuffed. So what I'm doing is creating the part that I'm gonna take out. Again, be careful with knives, they're sharp, and I know you like, but actually that wasn't a knife. That was one of those wonderful vegetable slicers, and the potato got stuck. And I tried to be superwoman and get that potato out, and well, the slicer won the battle. I want to make this a little wider than I made it right there. Hold on. All right. Now, we're still going to hollow this out more. You can do it with your hands. You can do it with a spoon. I like to do it with my hands so that I know I'm not going too deep in the bread and ruining it. Now, I'm going to place these tops here because I might place it back on top of the sandwich just for looks. We'll see. But just make a little cut on the side and you can just gently make sure your hands are clean. Start hollowing out your roll. Just like this. Leave enough of a wall though, you know, so that it can withstand the weight of the sandwich, because this thing is going to be pretty packed. So we don't want to hollow it too much, but we want to create a nice opening. All right. And we're going to do the same thing to our other buddy here. Now, of course, they're already cooked, right? You see that they're already cooked. But what's getting ready to happen is I'm going to put a layer of cheese in, right? Then put a layer of our pasta in, and the meatballs and the shrimp will not go in at this point. The shrimp will just be placed on the top when we're done. All right. All right. So we've grabbed our second top. Need more space. Always need more space. All right, start hollowing it again. Again, don't make it so hollow that it can't withstand the weight of what you're going to do. And a secret, if you do think you went too deep, like I might have on this one, it's going to be fine, because actually we are going to put cheese in first. We're going to put these provolone slices in first. And I'm just going to show you that, and then we'll come back and show you these right before I put them in the oven. Because this is like my prep area and everything else is over in the kitchen. And this stuff is too heavy to keep moving it, especially once I hurt my finger the way I did. So what we're going to do is, we're just going to, on one we're going to do provolone and mozzarella. I'm not sure if we have enough provolone to do both of them this way, but we're going to see. Let's see, it might just work out. Like I said, this creates a base. It'll melt and it'll protect the bread from getting too soggy from the pasta and the meatballs. So you just want to do that. Get it in there good, get it in there. I think we're going to be good on both of these. So another one. And another, and I've already got my oven preheating. You know to do that. Anyone who cooks know you want to have that sucker preheating already. All right, so we've done that. The next step is the mozzarella. Again, this is creating a base to keep the pasta from oversaturating the bread, and just to create a lovely cheese pull shot. You know, we all love the cheese pull shot, right? That's like food blogging 101. Gotta have your pull shot of the cheese. All right, that should be enough mozzarella. You can see I got tons of it. One thing I always got in this house is mozzarella. So I will be back shortly once I have loaded these and show you how they look before I put them in the oven. Be back shortly. All right, so this is them going into the oven. You can see the pasta, the meatballs, and the cheese. And the shrimp's gonna go on at the end, like when I'm about to serve it. We can even get anything else on here because these bad boys are huge. brisket slow cooked all day. Look how my finger just goes in. It is so tender. It is beautiful. Look how you can just pull it. You can just pull that right apart. That's how you want your brisket to be. Look at that. Yummy. This is really super duper tender. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to smother this in the barbecue sauce. And just get a good coating of it all over. I figured as big as this was the easiest way to do it. All right, be back soon once the sandwich is built. So here you have it. Look at that, smothered in my barbecue sauce I made earlier. And we're going to use the wheat bread again. This is going to be so damn good, y'all. Really, really, really good. We're about to take the Italian meatball and linguine boats out. We're not going to top them with the shrimp till we're ready to get a picture and ready to serve. But yeah, these are what we're going to make our version of that rib sandwich that they bring back every year out of. All right. Okay, so these are out of the oven. I'm letting them cool, of course. Put those ends over there till we want them or need them. Probably won't even need those. But just want to show you how beautiful that is. And I put foil in my pan so I can reuse my pan. Yes, indeed. Tired of my pans. And this is a really big one Walmart had. So, yeah. Beautiful, right? All right. I'm about to fry French fries and build the rib sandwich, and that'll be a wrap. Gonna take some good pictures of these and bid y'all adieu for the day. Have a great week. All right, so pardon the fact it looks like a butcher scene. Here's what happened. I originally had a really huge piece of brisket on this sandwich, and I decided that would be just way too hard for anyone to consume that way. So I slimmed it off and put it back in the slow cooker. So what we're about to do now, hold on. Let me go get my tongs. It's time to dress it and make it pretty. The fries are finishing as well. So I'm going to give y'all a nice video shot of this one with some fries in front of it in just a moment. Hold on, please. I know. I'm the worst at already being prepared, ain't I? It is what it is. So we're going to take a shot of this one. And then what we're going to do is, hold on, gotta add some Old Bay to my fries while they're still nice and warm. Not like some Old Bay on your fries. And you folks understand that. Alright. So, I also have a few other things that are going to go on the sandwich. Let me grab them, hopefully without making a huge mess, because, I don't know, I feel like this bowl has had a mind of its own and has been leaking all day for no apparent reason. So we're going to sit it right there and hope that it doesn't do any crazy stuff. And then the last thing we have, of course, is some pickles, because you can't have a sandwich like this without pickles. And that's my drink y'all see right there. And what the heck did I do just that fast in my tongue? I am tired, guys. It's been a long weekend. Alright. So, get your peppers arranged all pretty. You saw how I made my barbecue sauce earlier. Now you just want to start placing dollops of your coleslaw on here. Tongs is the easiest way to do this. But hey, if you want to do a spoon, use a spoon. Use whatever you have. Not everybody has tongs. Seems like we would, but I get it. Not everybody does. These tongs I'm using are good in temperatures up to 600 degrees. So they are perfect, perfect, perfect for grilling. And make sure you get some, even in those last bites. Nothing I hate worse than a sandwich that has nothing in that last piece of bread. It's horrible, right? Pickled onions, which I pickled myself. Very, very easy to do. If any of you need the recipe for that, just hit me up. Or you can find the recipe for how to do quick pickled onion anywhere, though, honestly. And last but not least, the actual dill pickles. Place them pretty. You'll know how to do this. Just place them. Place them, place them. Now we're going to put our top on. This might actually be the bottom. Ha! I think I made it upside down, but my family won't care. They'll eat it as it is. Because we're not going to try to flip it. So, what I like to do, of course these toothpicks won't go through the whole sandwich, but they'll hold it and make it easier for me to cut it. Alright, just like that. I'm going to try to wiggle it back just a little bit there. Oh, look at all that. Now what we're going to do is, I'm going to move these because they're just going to continually carry. These things are leaking all day. Let me drain these real quick and I'll be right back. Alright. So information about these two sandwiches will be on my blog later today or tomorrow morning, depending on whichever one I feel is best. So let me get a close-in video shot real quick for you. And that'll do it, guys. Happy Sunday. All right, so here is my version of that rib sandwich everyone eats that we're all pretty sure is some type of mystery meat. Yeah, when I put the sandwich together, I flipped it wrong, so the bottom bun is on the top, but y'all get the hint. It's too big of a monster for me to try to fix. I didn't get any sleep last night. I was up till 6 a.m. and only got 2 hours of sleep before I began doing this. But this is the finished product. Homemade fries with Old Bay on them. Voila. We are back with the final look at, stealing a piece of cheese, so good, at the linguine, meatball, and shrimp submarine boat. Make sure you can see everything in there. I'm about to wrap these bad boys and cut them and give my family a taste. Thanks for watching.